What were you doing during the period of the Vietnam War?
Do you have years? Because from 67 to 71, I was in college.
Yeah, like around that time.
I was in college. I was a student.
At that time, what did you think the United States' involvement in Vietnam was? And why do you think the U.S. was at war?
Well, they were there to help South Vietnam prevent North Vietnam taking over and thus communism.
How do you feel about the draft?
At the time, I didn't care for it at all. It caused a lot of problems. There were a lot of protests.
Were you or was anyone close to drafted?
Yes. Friends, not family members.
Did it impact you in any way?
Yes, because people died.
If you were serving in the military, what did you want? Oh no, you weren't. Never mind. Did your view of the war and the United States policy change as the war unfolded?
No.
Did any personal experiences during the wars significantly shape your views?
I suppose. I mean, at that time, it was broadcast nightly on television what was going on over there. Not like today. You saw everything. Blood, death. It was all there. All caskets coming home. And then having friends of yours or people in the community die over there. Then that had an impact.
During the war years, did you believe that President Johnson and Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara correctly analyzed the situation in Southeast Asia and pursued the appropriate course in selecting and escalating war efforts?
No. I mean, at the time I didn't know all of that, but then history proves that it was not a good decision.
What other memories from this time period could you share?
There was a lot going on at that time. It was a very tumultuous period in U.S. history. Because in the 60s was JFK assassination, Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy. There was Kent State, where students were killed when they were protesting the Vietnam War. There were protests on the campus where I went to school. And and the draft happened when I was, I don't know whether I was a freshman or a sophomore, but that's when all of the guys got a number. And the lower your number was, the more likely you would get drafted. And that caused a lot of bad feeling and, students not wanting to be drafted and so forth. Not like today at all.
What lessons for Americans today do you see in the Vietnam War experience?
That's a loaded question. Well, history has proven that it didn't do any, it didn't serve the U.S. well to go there. And that history repeats itself. But I think the country as a whole has learned from that